if you weren't there, you weren't supposed to be there. I'm not about to put it online for you to look at. No, like.
Excuse me, I'm talking to you. Hey.
Hey boos, welcome to Sips and Tips episode 6. This is the show where we make a little something to sip on and then get into the tips and advice of it all. I am happy to be shooting today because I'm not gonna lie. This morning and really last night, because I wanted to film last night, but I just had zero motivation. I didn't have anything that I really wanted to talk about. Nothing was really like sparking my interest as far as like topics. I was not feeling it. But I was like, you know what? We have to be consistent. Don't skip a week. You can do this. So I got up, put my makeup on, got all set up, and I was like, let's do it. So saying all that to say, welcome to episode 6. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, just to be completely transparent, like getting going on YouTube it's been tough. It's hard. YouTube is a tough crowd. YouTube is a tough nut to crack, seriously. But I've been really enjoying putting this content together and making this an every Sunday thing. So thank you for watching. Let's get into today's sip. First of all, I have to shout out LaCroix. We are featuring LaCroix in today's episode. Now, this is not a sponsored video, but LaCroix did send me 3 cases of my favorite flavor. This is the Guava Sao Paulo flavor of their sparkling water. This is my favorite. I actually made a TikTok of the drink that we're gonna make today. So let's get into it. We are making a sparkling guava lemonade. I'm gonna do a mocktail version today, but like I almost always say, you can add whatever you want to this if you're 21. I feel like, should I be saying that disclaimer in every episode? If you're over 21, add your alcohol of choice. If you're not, keep it the mocktail version. This is very simple. It's literally just gonna be like a from scratch lemonade. Add your LaCroix on top, and then that's literally it. Okay, so we have our glass here. Of course, we gotta make it cute, gotta make it aesthetic. First, we're gonna start off with just a tablespoon of agave. You could also use just plain sugar. You could use honey, whatever your sweetener of choice is. I just personally like agave. So we're gonna do about a tablespoon of that. Then we're gonna add in our lemon juice. This is fresh squeezed. I prefer fresh squeezed lemon, and I also don't mind the pulp. If you do, of course, strain it out. And you can also use the lemon juice concentrate. That's actually what I used in my TikTok because I didn't have any real lemons at the time. So I just used that like bottled lemon concentrate. But if you have fresh, that's always best. So this is about the juice of half a lemon. And then you wanna add a little bit of water just to kind of water down that super acidic lemon and citrus flavor. So not necessarily equal parts, but like almost equal parts water. You know, I don't measure, sorry. But just enough to kind of like dilute it just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take my little stir stick here and mix in all the ingredients. The main thing is you just wanna make sure that the agave is mixing into the lemon and the water. Okay, once that's all mixed in, we can go ahead and add our ice. And then we're gonna take our LaCroix, Guava Sao Paulo, and then just fill that up to the top. And I'm gonna take my stir stick one more time just to make sure that the sparkling water mixes in with the other ingredients. And then of course, glass straw, duh. And then to make it extra cute, I'm gonna put on this little umbrella. I actually got a pack of these at the dollar store in a bunch of different colors. And so when it's summertime, I just feel like you gotta add a little garnish, a little decoration, a little something. You could also garnish this with a little lemon slice or lemon wedge, but I had to use the umbrella. Let's taste it. It's just so light, it's refreshing, perfect for the summertime. The lemon and that fresh homemade lemonade really steals the show. But I just love the guava flavor of this LaCroix. This is hands down my favorite flavor of LaCroix. And I've tried a lot. Haven't tried them all because there's so many flavors of LaCroix, but I've tried a lot. And I think the Guava Sao Paulo is definitely my favorite. So again, thank you to LaCroix. Shout out to them. Thank you for sending me that because that's gonna last me for a good chunk of the summer, and I'll definitely be making this again. All right, you know the drill if you've been here before. Now that we've made our sip, we're gonna head over to the couch and get into today's tips and topic. Testing. Hopefully this is working. I love this little mic, and I mean, it was pretty cheap. I got it for like maybe $15, if that, but it has been sabotaging me. So I tested it and it should be working. We're going to invest in a better mic. Like I said, love this one, but I think this is going to have to be strictly for Sips and Tips Live, and I need to get like a standing mic or something for the sit down videos. But anyway, let's get into today's topic. I wanted to talk about the topic of secrecy versus privacy because I've been seeing a few videos like this on YouTube and on TikTok, and I was like, I think I could delve into this. I think we could get into it. So for me personally, I have always been a very private person. I am not one to overshare. I think that's just me being a Virgo and not trusting people by nature. And so when I first meet someone, or if I'm online or whatever the case is, I really am reserved. I'm just not one of those people that's going to like give you my life story up front. I'm not super talkative. I'm not an overshare. Like, that's just not my personality. But I will say, I think because we are in such a social media age and an age where nothing is really private anymore, nothing is really sacred. Everybody is sharing everything. Like, everything. And I really am part of that group that's like, I wish some of y'all would go back to diaries and journal entries and let's get into therapy. Let's get into calling your friends and family again to vent, because I think a lot of times people come onto social media to vent or to share accomplishments or to just share whatever's on their mind without really thinking about it and thinking about the repercussions or consequences of that. So it's interesting. It's kind of a loaded topic. I don't want this to be super all over the place, so I'll try to keep it as organized as possible, but this is kind of just going to be a stream of consciousness, so bear with me. When we talk about secrecy versus privacy, for me, the main thing is, in order for something to be a secret, that means that you're hiding it from everyone. That means that no one knows. Your family, your close friends, people in your circle, people in real life don't know. Privacy, on the other hand, is just being selective with what you share and who you share it to. So when it comes to social media, I am very private. You will not see me talk about relationships. You don't really see me talk about friendships. You won't really see me posting my family. I'm just very selective with what I choose to share. Even when it comes to my career, my job, I never have posted where I work on social media. I don't post where I live. Even filming here in my apartment, I'm very selective with where I film. You will never catch me doing a house tour, apartment tour, anything like that. Like, when I film, I'm like, okay, if I film here, would anybody be able to know where I'm sitting? Would anybody be able to catch where I live? Like, just from a safety aspect, I just don't like to share a lot. And then also just being selective in the fact that you never know who's going to come across to your content. You have no idea what people's intentions are, and people are crazy. I mean, I hate to have that kind of cynical outlook, but it's just like, you can't always look at the world and look at the internet with rose-colored glasses. Like, there are people who are truly dangerous and want to do harm to people, unfortunately. And so you have to really do what you can to protect yourself and to protect your loved ones. And so that's a major reason why I don't share a lot. It's simply for safety. And it's also just because I don't think everyone should be invited in. I don't think everybody should be allowed to see your precious relationships, your family members, your significant other, your home, your work life and where you work, your milestones, your accomplishments. Like, I just don't think that that's something that the whole world should see. So let's get into accomplishments and milestones and things like that. I actually made a TikTok about this a while ago. I can't remember how long ago, but I was just saying how it's so wild how in today's day and age, you can literally get on YouTube, get on the internet at any time, and you can see people's full-on labor and delivery, birth stories, whole wedding videos, baby showers, proposals, like all of these really, really major milestones. They're just on YouTube. It's no shade to people who post things like that. I know that, it's a milestone. It's something that you want to share with the world and scream from the rooftops. But for me personally, you will never catch me putting any kind of milestones or achievements or like major events like that up for the internet to see. I don't want everybody to see my wedding. If you weren't there, you weren't supposed to be there. I'm not about to put it online for you to look at. No, like, and then like pregnancy, I just feel like pregnancy and the birth process, labor and delivery, that is such a sacred, intimate moment. Like, in the hospital bed, you're not about to see that. Like, you're just not about to see that from me. I'm so sorry. Like, no. If you are not my husband, if you're not my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brother, my close family and friends, if you would not be invited to the hospital to see my baby after I gave birth, you do not need to see my birth video or know my birth story, or know, you just don't. It just, to me, it's just a wild concept to let strangers and to let so many people that you don't know in on such intimate, sacred moments. And again, like I said, I'm not saying any of this to be judgmental. If you're someone who wants to share that on the internet, that is your prerogative. And that is, who am I? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, for me personally, I couldn't do it. I think a big part of the oversharing and the privacy aspect of things when it comes to social media is keep a little something for yourself. When it comes to milestones and big accomplishments, keep some of those things to yourself. Not saying that you don't have to share anything at all ever. Not saying that at all, because there's certain things that I'm just like, no, I want to share this, or I think this would help somebody, or just for whatever reason. But some things that I've done or accomplished, I'm like, no, I'll just tell my mom, or I'll just tell my loved ones, or you know what I mean? Like, there's just certain things that I think you should keep sacred and keep to yourself. Another thing that you have to think about is, it's not just strangers. It's not just about, random people on the internet coming across your content and coming across your stories. There's also monitoring people, monitoring friends, family, monitoring spirits, as people have been calling it online as well, who don't really engage with you, don't talk to you, don't keep up with you like in real life or communicate with you, but they are tuned into everything. They're watching all your stories. They're looking at your videos, your pictures, they're tuned in. And the thing about it is, I feel like social media has made it to where it's like people tune in really for no reason. It's just like, I don't know, it could be out of boredom, it could be out of just being nosy, but like people are tuned in. And I can guarantee you, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter like what you think you might or might not have going on. I'm sure there's at least one or two people who are tuned into your every move. They have looked at every post, every story. Like, I'm telling you, it's a weird phenomenon, but it happens. And so with that being said, that's another reason why you have to really monitor and be careful with what you're sharing, because people like that, sometimes people are just nosy, and it's really nothing more than that. They're not wishing you ill. They're just nosy and want to know what's going on. But then there are people who do that who are evil, who are just negative spirited. They just, are not, they don't want to see you do well, or they don't want to see you do better than them. And so they're kind of putting that energy into when they're viewing whatever you're posting. Not to get all like woo woo spiritual on you, but you know what I mean? Like, I really do believe in like energy and transferring energy and like doing things with intention. And so I feel like if you have something really personal, if you want to share something, whether it's something really good or really bad, just be mindful of that, because not everyone who's watching you or seeing what you post has your best interest at heart, unfortunately. And I just wouldn't want any of that negative energy or any of that ill will to transfer onto you or your life. So just, we pray for protection. God's got us. I'm a firm believer, but it's just like, if you can protect yourself from any negativity or any negative energy, by all means, please do that. One last thing to mention regarding privacy. I feel like when you mention something on social media, people feel entitled to know the updates on it, or to like be notified of the progression, or like there's just like this obligation to be in your business about something once you post about it. So for example, people who post about their relationships, this we see all the time, right? Like, you'll see someone who posts their significant other, or they'll post, when they got engaged or when they got married or whatever. And then it's like, if they stop posting the person or like stop putting the person in their video, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, did you break up? Did you get a divorce? And it's like, maybe they did, but maybe they just didn't want to put their significant other in their stuff anymore. Did we ever consider that? Like, it turns into this whole like, oh, well, what happened? And well, give us an update and give us a part 2 and give us it's just too much. And I feel like, why put yourself through that? Like, just keep it private. It's too much. People are they feel too entitled. I don't really know how we got here. It's just been kind of this evolution of, over time on social media, people have these parasocial relationships and they feel like they are entitled to these aspects of people's lives. And it's just like, no. So you do not owe anyone an explanation. You do not have to keep up with anyone or anything. Let's say you started posting your significant other and they were in every photo and every video, and then you decided, I don't want to do that anymore. That's fine. Or the opposite. Let's say you never posted your significant other, never want to talk about a relationship, never want to talk about a friendship, a family member, whatever. And then all of a sudden you do. That is your prerogative. Like, it is up to you to monitor and share at your discretion. So all in all, my overall thought is I think that privacy is very important. I think that you should definitely be mindful of what you're posting and be mindful of your potential audience. You never know who's seeing your content. You never know who's watching you. Just protect yourself. I think social media can be a great place. You can really build community. You can learn a lot. You can help others in the process of sharing your stories and sharing your accomplishments and milestones, but it can also be dark, and people can be crazy and evil and not wish you well. So just be mindful, have discernment, just be careful. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about social media and oversharing and privacy versus secrecy? I'm really curious to know. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe. I'm really grateful for everybody who tunes in and watches these episodes. It's been really, really encouraging to just keep filming and seeing the gradual progress. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next Sunday. Cheers.